Have you guys ever had your power turned off in a case of mistaken identity? I have. Let's talk about Lions football.
Elbow, forearm, he's going to be down.
The result of the play is a touchdown.
And the flag that was thrown on this was picked up.
I don't know, did it get the face mask?
Only do that if you're telling the official you're reporting.
The Lions hangover.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another exciting edition of the Lions Hangover podcast. I am Brad. Please subscribe to my show. I am desperate for attention. I am desperate for fame. While you're there at the subscribe section, also rate me 5 stars because I'm told, as I listen to other podcasts say it, that this really helps the show grow. So if you're entertained or you just agree with me, or even if you love to disagree with me but you can't stop listening, just go ahead and subscribe and rate it 5 stars, right? Leave a review if you feel so compelled. I thank you in advance, sincerely from the bottom of my heart. You guys want to hear some trauma before we talk about Lions football? We can talk about some trauma. Sure. Okay, Brad, let's do it. Maybe trauma is a bit of a strong word. I just woke up after a few hours of slumber, getting home late from the Lions game last night, and I start playing on my phone, getting caught up on emails and whatnots from the overnight delivery system of the messages. And all of a sudden, the house goes black. No fans, no lights, no TVs, no fish tank, no refrigerator. It's like all of a sudden it's 1892 again in this house. And I hear some fumbling around outside, and I go out there. I'm like, hey, what's up? And there's a gentleman fooling around with my electric box out there with the little circular dial thing that it's basically a plug. You unplug it, you know. And he didn't even say anything. He just kind of pointed at a notice on the door, and it says, your electricity is turned off. Pay your bill. And I was like, this is a mistake. I'm all squared up, bro. I'm always going to have electricity in this house. It's the modern day. So another gentleman comes along. There were 3 gentlemen total. I don't know if they do that on purpose in case they need to do battle with somebody that wants to argue. And I'm like, hey, this is taken care of. You should not be turning off my electricity. He's like, well, you got to call the office and you got to dial this extension. So I do that. It's on speakerphone so they can all hear me call this person. No answer. I get the voicemail. I leave a professional message. I'm even offering the dudes water and such. I'm being polite because I'm a good person. They're giving me like the 6th degree snobbery level, as if I'm not a worthy citizen in society. It's very frustrating. And I'm like, well, can you guys hang out while I keep trying to get a hold of this person? They're like, no, you go ahead and keep calling. I'll come right back and turn the power on if you're right. And I was like, fine. So as soon as they took off, I took off towards the village office. I go there and I kick in the door and I'm like, yo. And they're like, oh, just one moment. And then 5 minutes, or just one moment. And then a lady comes out and she's like, what's the problem? I said, yeah, I have 3 men turning off my power at my house, but I've already taken care of the situation. And she's like, oh, one moment. And then she goes away for like 5 minutes. And then she comes back, literally 5 minutes, not an exaggeration. She comes back. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. This was all a mistake. I'll have them turn your power back on. And I'm like, great. Thank you for the gratification of whatever you want to call it. Thanks for basically proving that I'm right. So I scurry back home. I only live like 30 seconds away from City Hall, village office, where they control all of this information. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. Fast forward to an hour and a half later, I'm in the shower, and the power comes back on. I showered in the dark, man, where I'm susceptible to spiders house centipedes, earwigs, probably snuffleupagus, right? And the power comes back on. Now at this point, I'm doing all I can to scurry up, dry off, and head outside because I want to give an I told you so, and I want to receive an apology to the 3 gentlemen who were kind of dicks, to put it politely. Not direct dicks, but you can just tell. They all had like a sort of arrogance to them. It was not happy. Not happy. I would not shop at this store again. But needless to say, getting out of the shower and getting dried off enough to where clothes would fit on me properly, it did not happen. And the utility people escaped without me giving them an earful. You would think if your power was turned off mistakenly that they would put in some sort of hustle to come turn your electricity back on. There was no hustle. Dicks. All right. Anyway, I might cut this part out. Who wants to listen to that? All right, let's talk about Lions football. Okay, so off the cuff, I'm going to give you my first impressions. No notes, nothing like that. The game was amazing. We got there at 6:30. The game was at 8:30. Didn't get a Jahmyr Gibbs bobblehead. Truly heartbreaking. Next, we're walking around having a good time. There, you can just tell, 2 hours before game time, this place is already packed. There are already a crap ton of people there. Standing room only. It was insane, and it was loud. It was so loud. One of the loudest games I've probably ever been to. And I would need like a side-by-side comparison to say what was louder, either the playoff game or this game today. Because opening game is just as exciting as a playoff game, even though obviously a playoff game is cooler and it has more meaning to it. But this game against the Rams that the Lions won 26-20 could have playoff implications. I can't say anything. I still am flabbergasted by the electricity thing, so my brain is a little bit scrambled. Anyway, this game could be a tiebreaker for the end of the season. This was an important game. This was a tough opponent. Now, the Lions did not come out and play their best game, not offensively, not defensively, but there were some high points, and they did enough to win the game. And they went to overtime, and it was exciting. Exciting. This is, if the Lions come out on top every single time, I would take this game. The exciting games are what makes it fun for fans. This is exciting. I thought Jared Goff played mediocre the first 3 quarters of the game, and I thought he played horrendous at the end of the 4th quarter. He was very inaccurate. You know, Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't have a great game. What do you have, like 2 or 3 catches? We'll break down stats in a little bit. Didn't have a great game. He was slipping on the turf near the end. I think at least twice at the end of the game he slipped on the turf. And it didn't matter because the throw was piss poor anyway. And then there was, at the end of the 4th quarter, there was a throw into the dirt from Goff, and he had plenty of time. And another time he could have scrambled again. He could have had 2 scrambles. The one scramble was good. We were all nervous, right? But the one scramble was good. He did get sacked a couple times. One of them, I do blame him because he held on to the ball for so damn long. Get rid of the ball faster. Okay? The offensive line is great. They didn't play great. They played average. The defensive line played average. I think Stafford was comfortable for the most part. I think I heard that there were 12 knockdowns. And what? There were like 2 sacks? One in the beginning of the game, one at the end of the game by Hutch. But we weren't consistently in his face. I feel like Stafford had all time to throw. All time to throw. Puka Nacua goes out with a knee injury. That kills my fantasy team. I'll be okay, though. I'll be okay. Don't worry about me. Cooper Kupp had himself a hell of a game. He was running an out route, which the Lions could not stop whatsoever. They did come close, like each time in the beginning, but by the end of the game, it was too late. Cooper Kupp was doing whatever he wanted, man. Stafford had over 300 yards passing again. Cooper Kupp killed us, not Puka Nacua. I got to say, I love saying Puka Nacua, though. Like, that's a fantastic, fun name to say, Puka Nacua. Like you're speaking a different language, and I'm nailing the enunciations. The Lions played mediocre the entire game, except when it came to overtime, the Lions imposed their will on the Rams defense. That running game was amazing. David Montgomery was amazing. Jahmyr Gibbs was amazing. And Jameson Williams was amazing. And I'll take these games. I'll take these games where you have to rotate. This is why we have depth. You know, you spread the ball around, but if they're taking somebody away like Amon-Ra St. Brown, or for whatever reason, Goff just can't find St. Brown, the guy that you're paying $30 million to a year, if you can't find him, you need your other receivers to step up. And, man, J-Mo stepped up. It was huge. That 50-yard bomb, huge. Horrible throw by Goff. I'm saying it. I'm calling him out. It wasn't a problem today, but it might be a problem next week. Can you not throw the ball 40 yards in the air? Not even 30 yards in the air. J-Mo had to let up and turn around. Good thing the defender blew coverage. Otherwise, that probably would have been a pick. If J-Mo didn't have the separation that he had, if he didn't bust that move on the defender and separate himself by like 10 yards, that would have been an interception. It was a horrible underthrown ball. Awesome heads-up play by J-Mo. That touchdown was all J-Mo, and then he turned on the afterburners, and he went to the end zone. It was amazing. So good to see J-Mo have a fantastic game. Onwuzurike had a sack. Hutchinson had a sack. Otherwise, you heard nothing from the defensive line. Nothing. Davenport was okay. He was okay. It better be better next week when DJ Reader comes back. It better be better. I think it'll be an easier game next week. I don't want to call it a guaranteed victory, but it should be an easier game next week. Tampa Bay is a good team, but they're not as good as the Rams. We cannot let up, and we can't let teams hang around. We had a 17-3 lead. You can't let a team hang around. You're given opportunities to put that game away in the third quarter, and you let it slip away. You lost the lead. You had to tie it up with a Jake Bates field goal, which, by the way, I thought Jake Bates did great. He did fantastic. Was he 2 for 2 on the field goals? Like I said, we'll get into the stats in a minute. I'll make sure that all these numbers are correct. I just wanted to talk about the game. I give the crowd A+. I give Jared Goff a C. J-Mo, Montgomery, Gibbs, I give them all A's. All A's. Anzalone had a lot of tackles. He was the defensive player of the game. I thought Anzalone had a great game. The one huge play from the Rams, I have to give credit to Malcolm Rodriguez. That dude was the fastest person on the field. He hunted that guy down. I don't think it was Cooper Kupp. I'm trying to think who it was, and it definitely was not Puka Nacua. I can't stop saying his name, guys. I'm sorry. I can't stop. But it was Rodrigo, man. You could see him on the field. He was tracking that guy down, and he had to run like 40 yards faster than everybody else to catch up and make the tackle, at least get a hand on him. I don't know if he got credit for the tackle. Let's see here. I'm going to open up the stats now. Okay, guys. Lions, Rams. Let's talk stats. 26-20 was the final. There's only 16 teams right now that are undefeated, and the Lions are one of them. That's stupid, right? Player stats. Let's start with the Rams because that's what popped up first. Matthew Stafford, 34-49 for 317 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Speaking of interceptions, Terrion Arnold, I thought had a decent game. He got burned a few times, some rookie mistakes. For the most part, I liked what I saw, and I'm happy he's on our team. I think there's going to be a lot of improvement from this game to the end of the season. I feel totally comfortable with him in our backfield. Davis, the third. I feel completely comfortable with him. Again, mistakes in the defensive backfield all around, but I saw some bright spots, and you could see an improvement from last year. Okay, we got Kyren Williams, 18 carries for 50 yards. I'm okay with that. Rivers, 2 carries, 16 yards. Puka Nacua had a carry for 7 yards. No Blake Corum on this stat sheet. Man, you couldn't give the guy the ball one time. Just one time, give the guy a ball. He played at Michigan. This would be a homecoming of sorts for him. You can't. I know he was on kick returns, but there was only one kick return in the entire game. That new kickoff rule is stupid. They need to change that. I know they don't really make changes midseason, but they need to change that right away. They need to start the kick from the 10-yard line. Like this, you have to give the other team a chance to return. This is not exciting to see a touchback. Why even kick the ball? Just start the team off at the 20-yard line or 25-yard line. And the one time that there was a return, the Lions did a great job covering it, and they started behind the 30-yard line. So I know it's a little game you play, but like it would be worth doing the squib kick because the Rams started behind. Otherwise, the Rams are starting at the 30-yard line. If there's a touchback, 30-yard line. But when the Lions squib kicked it, the Rams started at the 25-yard line. That's 5 extra yards they have to go. And I don't believe they scored on that drive either. All right, receiving, Cooper Kupp had 14 receptions for 110 yards, 1 touchdown. Puka Nacua, 4 catches, 35 yards before he went out. He did come back, but I watched him, and there was that one route, and he was limping on that route, and then he kind of hobbled off the field after that, and then he was out for good. Hopefully he's okay. Tyler Johnson, he had 5 catches, 79 yards. I think he was the one that had the big play. Let's see. No, that's not how that works. I should have gone to ESPN. There's an advertisement. Kobe Parker, 4 catches, 47 yards. Demarcus Robinson, he had 4 catches for 42 yards. Kyren Williams, I call him Kyren. It's Kyren, man. Right? Yeah, Kyr. Why would you not say Kyren? So don't tell me it's Kyren. Kyren. 3 catches, 4 yards. So if it wasn't for Cooper Kupp and those out routes, he would have had probably 6 catches, but he still probably would have had like 60 yards. Defensively, nobody had more than 5 tackles for the Rams. We don't really care. Jay Cardi, what's his name? Joshua Cardi. He went 2 for 2 with a 41-yard long field goal. Overall, he had 8 points on the day. We did have the Rams punt 3 times. Remember, it was 2 times last season in the playoffs. So the Lions defense needs to do a better job of getting them off the field, the opposing team offense. All right, so let's complain about the Lions offense. Jared Goff, 18 of 28 for 217 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Don't like it. I don't like that interception. Montgomery, 17 carries for 91 yards with 1 touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, 11 carries, 40 yards, 1 touchdown. Waymo, 1 carry for 13 yards. Khalif Raymond, 1 carry for 12 yards. Those reverses, they had like those 2 reverses. I thought they worked out really, really well. Jamo, all around, man. Good freaking game. Jared Goff had a scramble. Love to see it. I wish there was one more opportunity where he should have ran it, and he did not. Jamo led the team in receptions with 5. Man, it really felt like he was just everywhere, though. It really felt like he was everywhere. But he only had 5 receptions for 121 yards with 1 touchdown. Laporta, 4 catches, 45 yards. Gibbs, 4 catches, 34 yards. Gibbs had a good game, man. I know Montgomery's kind of the star. So is Williams of this game, the 2 offensive bright spots. But I'm telling you, Gibbs, he contributed when it counted. He had a hell of a game. Hell of a game. And he did get that touchdown. St. Brown, only 3 catches, 13 yards. Only 3 catches. The whole time, it's like, where's this dude at? Get him involved. And he was open a few times. And Goff just missed him. St. Brown should have at least 7 catches this game. And Goff just couldn't get him the ball. Goff could not just find him. Goff could not throw accurately. It's the first game of the season. Call it rust if you want. I don't care. But you're being paid millions to throw the ball to a guy who's being paid millions to catch the ball. Do better. Do better. This is why you start off-season workouts, in March, in April. This is why they get together in California and work out with each other. So this crap doesn't happen. Brock Wright caught 1 pass. I like Brock Wright. Okay. Anzalone, 10 tackles, 3 assisted. I think he had 3 tackles for loss, too. This freaking website, I should have gone somewhere else. I'm sorry, guys. Terrion Arnold had 8 tackles. Carlton Davis, the third, had 6 tackles, 4 assisted tackles. Man, I thought Brian Branch played a good game. He had some good tackles, solid tackles. He knows how to tackle. I freaking love him. Kirby Joseph with the interception at the end of the first half. Hutchinson only had 3 tackles. One of those was for a sack. Onwuzurike gets credit with half a sack. So does Davenport, half a sack. But honestly, I feel like it was more Onwuzurike. Ennis Rakestraw. I saw him out there. I'm happy he's out there. I didn't really notice him too much. He had little impact. So, yeah. But Onwuzurike, I thought he had a strong first half, kind of disappeared. McNeil, he was kind of quiet. He only had 1 tackle on the stat sheet. Jake Bates, like I said, 2 for 2. He wasn't really tested with his leg, but holy cow, we know he can kick it. 2 for 2. His longest was 32 yards, and he nailed both extra points. So he was amazing. I'm excited to see him kick this year. Excited. Hopefully the Lions' kicker woes are over. But I hope Jake Bates has the chance to kick a 65-yard field goal this season. I want to see it. I want that for him. I want that for us. What's the record, 66? Turner from Baltimore from a couple years ago. That's the record, 66. I hope Jake Bates gets a chance to kick a 67-yard field goal. He's got the leg. We know he can do it. We know he can do it, man. And he's more accurate from long distance than he is for up close. I don't know what difference there is. But, man, I hope he gets a chance to kick a 67-yard field goal. How amazing would that be? You don't kick it all in college. You just do, kickoff. That's it. No field goals. You just do kickoff responsibilities. That's your job. You play a little bit of soccer. You try out for a couple NFL teams. Doesn't go well. You play in the UFL for the Michigan Panthers, and you start booming them from 64 yards, 62 yards, 55 yards. You become a legend for the UFL. And now you get a 2-year contract with the Detroit Lions. You stay at Ford Field. And now you're in the NFL, and you make your first 2 official field goals of your career and your first 2 extra points. Dude, welcome to Detroit, Jake Bates. I hope you have a tremendous career here because I freaking hate needing a kicker. It's nice to have somebody you can have out there and just rely on, not even stress about. So, all right. I've gone over the stats. I've given you my opinion. The Lions are going to have to play better if they're going to want to have continued success in this league. I heard a caller last night on one of the sports radio stations. The Lions got away with a C-plus victory. I would agree with that. It was not a horrible game. I'm not down on them. It was so exciting, and I'm happy we won. But you can see, with it being the first week of the season, the Lions have a lot of ground to make up because this was not a Super Bowl caliber team last night. And the reason I say this is because the Chiefs, they were a Super Bowl caliber team when they beat the Ravens. The Chiefs were clicking on all gears, man. The Lions need to step it up. The Lions would not have beat the Chiefs last night, that's for sure. So, fans, keep cheering. Keep cheering like you cheer. And the Lions play better. I will be back in a couple days to preview the Bucs game. I can't wait to talk to you guys again. I can't wait to talk about the Bucs. I can't wait for week 2. This is going to be good. It's going to be good. All right. I've been Brad. I will talk to all of you guys soon. Toodles. And let there be light in your house always.